All right, welcome. This is our May 6th, our work session agenda. If I could have a roll call, please.
Shannon.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Canty.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Edwards. Here. Cavazos. Day.
Here.
All right, items on our agenda for this work session. Our first one is the Town of Haymarket social media policy and guidelines. Chief Lands, if you wanted to be able to speak on this, kind of tell us how this kind of evolved as far as our current policy and that you've reached out and where we are with this one.
In the town handbook, we had a social media policy that regulated what the employees could put on their personal Facebook pages. We did not have anything to regulate what we could or couldn't do as a town on the town Facebook pages. And so I reached out to Fairfax and Prince William County, got their social media policies, pretty much copied them, took out some of the things that didn't pertain to us being a small entity, and basically it just regulates what we're allowed to delete or hide, or the 11 things that people can't do, are not allowed to do on our social media. You have to let them know that on your Facebook page so that they're aware of what they can be hidden or deleted for. Added that to what we currently have, passed it through the mayor and through the town attorney, and then it's up for a vote tonight.
Okay. So it's really nothing to actually act on. This will just be the new adopted policy that will revise the other one. And I assume that we'll obviously have that uploaded to, you already have it on your, do you actually put that on the Facebook site, or is that something that's embedded, or how does that work?
Yes, sir. The 11 things that Martin had vetted with us that you can or can't do on our site, that is already on there. Once tonight is over, I'll put the entire policy on the site.
Okay, all right. Great. Any questions, or?
I have a comment.
Absolutely, go ahead.
I think you all know that I feel like this. I think social media has its place in today's society. However, I feel like it should only be used for informational purposes. I don't feel like any staff member or any employee of this town should engage in banter back and forth with somebody through Facebook, Instagram, anything like that. You know, I feel like we should post things out there for information when it's necessary, but they can contact us here if a conversation needs to be had. I don't think that there should be any bantering back and forth with anybody, because I just think, I mean, we teach our kids that from when they get on social media, that you should never engage in those types of things, and I really wish that there was something about that in this. I just don't think it goes far enough, in my opinion.
Understood. Anyone else have any thoughts or concerns?
It's not a concern of mine, no.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Actually, would this be something, we don't need to adopt it. This was more of a,
I don't believe you adopted, Mayor, the
Yeah,
original
no,
social
I don't
media
think so.
policy. This is a staff initiative.
Right.
I think they're bringing it forward to you in case the council has serious concerns with it and wants to see changes made to it, but I don't think it requires council approval.
okay, understood. Okay. All right. Our next item is town vehicle decal discussion. So with that, I think we're on page number 12 and 13 of our packet. So I'm going to put you back on the spot, Mr. Martin. Maybe you can go back as we discovered this information and how we make this corrected.
Right, so the question came up, in fact, in relation to social media content, that whether we were properly engaging in town vehicle decal taxes. And one of the things that came to light as a result of that was that the original action of council in moving from an annual license tax to a one-time payment was done in a way that didn't comply with the legal requirements for an amendment to an ordinance. There are two things wrong with it. One was that it didn't record the vote of each member, and the other was that it was not in the form of an ordinance. So either one of those would have been fatal to its applicability and its effectiveness. The solution to that is in front of you. It is an ordinance that recites the history of how we got here and says, well, we know what we meant to do, and we want to make sure that that is effective anyway. And so what we're doing here is making the formal ordinance, which the clerk will then record how each member present voted on, that will effectively revise the vehicle decal ordinance to only make it a one-time fee. And because there is nobody whose rights are being harmed by making it retroactive, we can make it retroactive. Retroactivity in ordinances is something I have never done before, but I've researched this issue, and it seems to be within the power of the council. The effect of this is simply to restore the status quo to what everybody thought it was, and it allows the council to give effect to what was the intent of council so many years ago.
So I since obviously reached out to Mayor Kapp, Mayor Stutz at the time, John Cole, since it was basically his motion as well, to see if we could decipher, based on the minutes, if the intent was to make that just a one-time fee. I had the treasurer check to see, since 2006, has there ever been an annual renewal? And you could tell me your findings of that through your research.
Good evening, Council. I actually found that there was 2007 is when it actually began to just so permanent. 2006 is right when the transition was happening. They were doing annual decals. But 2007, from what I saw in my research, went into a permanent status, permanent decals.
So it's not like we've been collecting on an annual basis. So I think this kind of clarifies the intent, and from what research we can find, this will kind of set the record straight because of the things that were done in the past. So any questions regarding that?
How do we keep a record that they call which person got the decal or no?
Good question. That is something we're actually beginning to work on. Prior staff here was all paper trail. We're trying to go more towards the digital version of it, but we are maintaining a hard copies of the files here of people that come in and move. Well, I have just started re-updating the real estate information this year, so that's something next we're going to tackle on with the help of the admin that we have, Jackie. So it's not unheard of, actually. Just to give you some more information, the treasurer from the city of Fairfax, this past week, actually, we had a conversation that the city of Fairfax is moving to the same thing. They're going from annuals to a permanent decal. Basically called me, wanted to see how it worked, how we liked it. They are still going to charge annually, but they're just going to a permanent decal.
And I think that's the important thing to kind of note, that back in '06, that they decided to not forego of that annual tax. And it's my understanding that this tax, should the town decided not to charge the fee, then the county would be charging the fee on an annual basis. No sticker, but at least for every vehicle you have, you would get added to your personal property bill a fee of $24 per vehicle every year. So the fact is, we did have this one-time fee, and it's good until you move out of the town. It's transferable. You buy a new car for $1, you are able to take that investment of the $15 decal and reissue another decal for $1. And the things that we did find out too is motorcycles are reduced. They're $10.
$10.
Yeah, exactly.
So are we going to rewrite this ordinance?
It's going to be our agenda item to pass the ordinance.
Okay.
As
Because one of the things, just my feeling is I'm looking at section 46-44, B, on vehicles of firefighters. There should be no tax, but it's also on retired military and active duty military as well. So that needs to be in there.
I would say add in police if.
yeah, I thought we actually had that outlined somewhere.
I just don't see it in here.
Yeah, I don't see it in the ordinance as well.
Okay.
we'll look on that before we get to the voting on the regular meeting. But I think that all that is actually clearly labeled, and I'm not sure where exactly it is, but we're,
Well, wouldn't it need to be in here, though?
oh, absolutely, yeah, I think so.
So we're just amend it then.
Yeah, we'll have Martin look at that.
Well,
So-
so there are a number of categories, Mayor, that you can set different decal fees for, and I don't recall what those categories are. During the break between the work session and the regular meeting, I can look those up for you and make sure
Okay.
that we're in compliance with the state law.
Right, correct, okay. All right, so we'll make sure that's correct before it,
So those firefighters, retired firefighters, and...
yeah, and it's definitely a code. I've read it somewhere.
Okay.
It
That's
listed.
supposed to be military and retired military, active duty military and retired military.
Yep.
Okay.
And then if we're able to throw in police as well.
Yeah, with,
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Mayor,
Yes.
sorry, it is on the application itself, that information. But I believe, Martin, by the state, there's also a limit on how many they could get for free per household.
Yeah,
That's one thing that I actually verified, so.
yeah. Okay.
thank you.
Further discussion on that? All right, that's going to be a short work session then. That's all our items that we have on there, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Second by Councilman Leak. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much.